Champions again, ole ole. Champions again, ole ole. This has been probably the best weekend of my life. I have no voice. Been on my stag do. Arsenal have won the Champions League.
Did they? I never have guessed.
Oh, man, what a weekend. I was in a bar with my brother-in-law's, dressed as a cowboy. I'll put a photo up here. And I was chanting, champions again, ole, ole. Yeah, unreal. They said we couldn't do it.
I said you couldn't do it.
They said beating Barca's not for everybody.
It's not.
And it's not. So, yeah, let's go. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Just had to happen, didn't it? Blackstenius. She always scores the goals when it matters. But, yeah, let's talk about the game first. You're going to need to speak because my voice is going.
Oh, great. So... Well, yeah, 1-0. There's not much more to it.
1-0 to the Arsenal.
Obviously,
1-0.
Arsenal scored in the first half, but it was disallowed because she was offside. Frida. And then it looked pretty level. It was very backwards and forwards. Like, I think Arsenal put up a big fight. They put up a bigger fight than people expected. I know I didn't expect them to come from being the underdogs to winning it, which... Anybody who was in mine and Mia's live, you may not believe that was my reaction because I did cry, but I cried at Alessia crying, not at anything else. Obviously, Stina scored in the 74th minute, and it was just, it was strange. Like, Barca didn't turn up. If you know what I mean.
Skip through the whole game to the 74th
No, but what
minute.
No. Well, Chloe Kelly got carded, although I think Chloe Kelly should have got carded earlier on. Like 10 minutes in, she just went in like.
Yeah, she absolutely nailed Pina, didn't she?
Yeah.
But that was the game plan. The game plan was to rough up Barca and like.
It worked.
It really did. And then after the goal went in, the game management was unreal. Like Barca literally put their hands on players, and we were going down. We were winning free kicks. We were taking time. Every single set piece took ages for us to take, and that just shows you like when you need to win a game, these are the things you have to do, and we were really dominant. Like Leah Williamson was all over them, Catley was all over them, McCabe was doing what McCabe does best and kick people and shove them around, and that's what they needed. Like they couldn't deal with it. Barca really couldn't deal with it, and every time Graham got the ball, they were just doubling up on her and just stopping them from doing what they do, which is move the ball around. We just really like tried to keep them in one area and then allow them to move the ball and then just follow them across. It was like a swarm of bees. We were just following them and pressing them, and it was a really good game plan. And I think, it probably was going to go extra time, potentially penalties, but just a little bit of magic and a little bit of Barca falling asleep allowed Beth Mead to play a really good reverse pass, Stina to put it in the bottom corner, and Arsenal to win 1-0. Unbelievable. I do think what you said about Barca is true. I think they expected to just roll us.
I do, because Barca was so used to winning everything, and I think because obviously within the league they're always winning it. They've won the Champions League for the past 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So I think that they obviously Arsenal were the underdogs. I personally didn't think Arsenal would be able to do it, but the likes of Bonmati were in people's pockets, and it was bizarre to see.
She had a good game though.
She had a good game, but she wasn't like her usual standard.
She had a couple of chances where there was one where she really cut onto her left foot, and it was just like the whole goal opened up, and I was like, oh my god.
But I think Barca underestimated you guys massively, along with a lot of other people. I am going to give somebody that we know credit here right now. And this is a personal apology to other Arsenal fans. I apologise for doubting you, Mia. I apologise for taking the mick out of you when about 3 weeks ago you filmed a video of, can Arsenal win the Champions League? And I mocked the life out of you. So
does it count because I said we'd win everything?
No, because you've not won everything. You've won the Champions League, but you've not won the WSL, you've not won the League Cup, and you've not won the FA Cup.
I feel like it counts though because the same team won all three of them.
No, it doesn't
count.
So
it makes sense.
Doesn't count.
I'll take it.
Doesn't count. It is satisfying though, the fact that obviously you guys won it, Chelsea haven't. You enjoyed watching the parade yesterday, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
with your own little sorry little face.
Before we go on to that though, can we just talk about Leah Williamson? I think Leah Williamson had the best game of her life.
She had the game of her life.
She was unbelievable. Like every time we speak about Leah, we always say that she's really good on the ball when she makes the decisions right. But the thing that she struggles with is off the ball, and I think she was
Yeah.
the complete opposite in this game. Like
She really
she
was.
was so physical, she was so strong, and she was so good at just winning the ball off the Barca players, and that's something you don't really see often. I
No.
think that back line was incredible. I think Kim Little ran her socks off, and I think Caldente shown that she was a really big part of that Barca team, and she's shown how important she is in the Arsenal team this season. Like when you look at, I think it was like the 89th or 90th minute, there's a bit where she gets the ball and two or three Barca players surround her, and she just they like open up a little gap, and she does like a little touch and goes through the middle and then falls over and takes a free kick, and you're just like, yeah, world class, like just world class.
I mean, that's her 4th Champions League she's won. She's won the past 4 Champions League, 3 with Barca, 1 with Arsenal. And I think not only does it do big things for Arsenal as a club, but it also does big things in terms of English football, because I feel like you're going to have a lot more big named players coming in to Arsenal in the WSL. But also I think it will bring in more people that want to watch it as well, because Arsenal aren't short of fans. That's a given. But people want to go and watch a Champions League winning team.
Yeah.
I wanted to go, we've not done it, but I wanted to go watch Barcelona because they'd won the Champions League, just to experience a game like that. And I think people will now want to do that with Arsenal. And I mean, we did both Arsenal fixtures last season, didn't we, for Manchester City? And it was unreal. But I just think it's going to be even harder to now get, well, not for us, but I mean for people in general, it's going to be really hard to get tickets for Arsenal, because more people are going to want to come in and watch. And do you know what I mean?
I mean, we've got the Emirates. It's huge.
Well, yeah.
They might be all right. I mean,
Might be all right. If it's at Boreham Wood, you've got no chance.
Oh yeah, no chance.
But I genuinely can see Arsenal now using the Emirates for everything, because they've got that big platform. They've got that big stage now of, we've won the Champions League. This is why we deserve it. And obviously you get the money that comes with it as well.
And you look at I would say probably we've got 3 players that are in the top 5 of like the most like famous lionesses. Like you've got Chloe Kelly, Alessia Russo, and Williamson. I would say
Chloe's
that.
not confirmed.
I would say that. What? She's not a lioness.
No, but I mean, it's like staying at Arsenal, I mean.
No. Like at this moment
this
in
moment in
time,
time. Right, okay.
she's in the top 5 of the most famous lionesses, right?
Yep.
Obviously, you've got Lucy Bronze in there as well, and you know,
Big up.
I wouldn't even know who the 5th
Where's
one
my
is.
arm? Why can't I do that?
But yeah, I would say that's huge as well. The fact that them 3 have won the Champions League, because they're massive names for the Lionesses.
Yeah.
And you know, if you make a TikTok video and it's got Williamson, Russo, or Kelly in it, it's going to do really well for views. And the fact that them 3 have done it now and they play for Arsenal at this moment in time, it's only going to grow the game even more.
Yeah. I back that.
It's a shame about Barca, because I do think they're better at winning things than Chelsea, because I feel like Barca really like stamp their authority of like they are the ones. Even people that don't watch women's football, like I've been watching loads of streamers talk about it and loads of other content creators who aren't in the women's game, and they even know how dominant Barcelona are. So it's a shame that they win, but they didn't win. Sorry, but I also think it's really big for Arsenal to go and do it, and men can't do it, so the women have to go and show them how it's done.
I back that. And I'm just putting it out there. Beating Barca's not for everyone, is it? We've done it. Both our clubs have done it. Why can't others do it?
We didn't do it as well as you
No,
lot did.
you did it as well as we did. But it's fun. But you enjoyed watching the parade, didn't you? Going back to that. Katie McCabe, what a legend. The words from Alex Scott were, Katie, do not swear. And we had, what did we think of Tottenham?
No, it wasn't even. It was the first thing. Oh, she jumped on the mic.
She was hilarious. And then within seconds, she was dropping F-bombs. So,
they were
Katie McCabe, but it was hilarious.
They
even
were
Win
inside,
the dog,
weren't they? They were inside smashing mimosas.
And even Win the dog got involved. Guys, if you haven't seen the clip of where Beth Mead picks up Win the dog so that they can show it, there is actually a member of the
It's the
Arsenal
handler.
staff. The dog handler comes up
Comes
behind
running
them,
up.
grabs hold of Wynn's collar and keeps a firm tug on it just so they don't drop her over the... Is it her?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't drop her down the side of the armoury. So, you know, but even when the dog was involved, it was lovely to watch. Alex Scott, obviously. Alex Scott is with Jess Glynn. Jess Glynn's been absolutely everything. She was in the family and friends bit yesterday, I believe. She was singing for them. They had a party with
Leah
a VIP.
Anderson there, who's part of the team before as well.
Oh my gosh!
I
Like,
just
do you
love
know what I mean?
the photo of Blackstenius and Alex Scott because they're the two goal scorers that have won us the Champions League. I love that photo, and I really want them to do a statue of them too.
Yeah,
I think that would be incredible. They need it.
They do need some sort of representation of the women outside there now, especially with how many women's, like Arsenal women fans that were there yesterday for the parade. I'm sure if Charlie hadn't have just got off his stag do and we hadn't have had his football presentation the night before,
I'd have been there.
We'd have been there, but
Absolutely.
unfortunately it wasn't. Do you know where else we could have been, but we weren't because we're teachers and we have no time?
Go on.
World Sevens. So, the World Sevens was a mini tournament that took place in Portugal. It had 2 groups. So, you had Bayern Munich, City, Ajax, and FC Rosengard. Poor FC Rosengard. And then in Group 2, you had United, PSG, Roma, and Benfica. Now, City were pretty good. To start off with, we were pretty good. Like, we beat Rosengard 4-0, right? Then the second game that took place that night was Roma versus United. United won 3-2.
Had some great goals in it.
Yeah, it did. Then on Wednesday, Bayern played... Well, the rest of the games on Wednesday. Bayern beat Ajax 4-2. And then PSG beat Benfica 2-1. And City were in pretty good stead to start off with. Then we drew to Ajax. Not ideal. Then Bayern beat Rosengard, PSG beat Roma, and then Man U beat Benfica. Then in our second game on Thursday, which was really annoying because I didn't actually get to watch much of it. With it being during the day, I didn't see all this. But Bayern then beat City 3-1 to your satisfaction. Ajax beat Rosengard 2-0.
Beating Bayern's not for everyone.
No, it's not. Benfica played Roma and drew 2-2, and then United drew with PSG. So in the semi-finals, I don't think you'll have seen this. So
No,
Charlie was on his stag do, so he didn't see this. And I was at the box to box quiz. Big up box to box. Charlie will put a picture somewhere of my signed winning I got for coming third, maybe up here. But Bayern beat PSG 5-0. 5-0, right? Then it was a Manchester derby. We've had so many of them this season. It's as bad as Chelsea. I'm sick of them. But they beat us 2-0, which was really, really gutting. I was actually at box to box with some of the supporters club on the table next to me when that game, just as that game was finishing, and it was hilarious. And then in the third place match, we got beat 3-1. But we're not going to talk about that. And then in the final, Bayern beat United 2-1, and that was so satisfying. There was nothing more satisfying than watching United lose. 3 trophies lost in a week, I believe, between the men and the women. It's not for everyone, is it? But no, it was a really good tournament. It was fast-paced. We got to see debuts of players like Poppy Pritchard, Maisie Davis, and Evanettes. Now, poor Eve got a clean sheet, but she was on the pitch for less than a minute, because she decided to take the ball and collided with one of the other players' knees and ended up with a big egg on her head. Oof. She is competing with Alana Kennedy at this point. It was massive, but she actually made fun of herself on Instagram and put, at least it was a clean sheet, which I thought was funny. But no, it was a really good tournament, and I'd really hope that they do it again next year. Not only does it bring in money, but it brings in more of an interest from people. I've got friends that aren't normally interested in women's football, but even they were interested in watching it. There were quite a few people I know that watched it that wouldn't normally. I was even sharing the results with my kids at school, just because I'm that cool teacher. But no, it was a good tournament, and I think it definitely gave players game time that wouldn't have had it. Like Oyama played. It was lovely to watch her play. Fajino was in her element. Like it was so good. And to be honest, to say that Jess won't mind me saying this, Me and my friend Jess have referred to the City team that went as Laura Coombs and her grandkids, because it was literally Laura Coombs and then the rest of them are all like the younger end of City, which I get why Nick's done it. Laura Wienrother was there as well, which was nice. So she got to spend time with us before then flying off to support Arsenal. But yeah, it was well worth it. And it's mental to think that the money that Bayern won was more money than Arsenal have just won for the Champions League. Like, absolutely mental. I really hope that they do it in somewhere a bit more accessible next year. From the few people we know that went, it was they've said it was really, really difficult to find where the place was. There wasn't very clear signage. When they got their signage was in English, but there wasn't anybody that spoke English, so they didn't know where they were going. They didn't know how to get into their section and stuff like that. But one thing that I did think was really, really cool as well, I don't know if you saw these, Chaz, but they had, when players scored, they got little coins that had the World 7 emblem in the middle and it said minted on the top. And what they were doing was they were giving them to fans in the crowd. So like Lindsay, Charlotte got one. I think Leanne got one as well. So it was kind of a way to commemorate the tournament in a different way to normal. Cool. I know the merch was a bit on the steep side as well, so it would be nice if it was a bit cheaper next year, because €36 for a hat is a bit extortionate. But other than that, it was a really good tournament. I really enjoyed watching it. And now I'm a bit lost without football because I don't know what to do with myself for a month.
I think if they do it next year, though, obviously there won't be the Euros, so they might be able to. They might delay it by a few weeks, so you can actually have some Champions League teams in there as well.
Oh yeah, because it was literally like,
well, a lot of players.
It was known to be the big named teams, and I think that has come from the fact that kind of like Chelsea, Arsenal, Barca were all in the Champions League, whereas we obviously weren't. So it was a nice way for players to go out there, get game time, and in a different format. It was great. There was no offside. Arsenal would have been great in it because there was no offside.
Stina would have scored 100 goals.
It would have been, it was mental, and it was rolling subs as well. So at one point, I was finding it really difficult to work out who would come on and off the pitch, because during the first games on Wednesday, they weren't necessarily making it clear who was on and off the pitch at once. And I know it can be difficult when you've got rolling subs and you've got like 6 people changing at a time, but it was still good to watch. One person that I would have liked to have seen Manchester City take is the goalkeeper from the Champions League team of the season. That would be Yamashita. So should we discuss it?
Yeah.
So obviously they took Kiara Keating and they took Eva Nets for City to give Yama a bit of a rest. But in the Champions League team of the season, you've got Yamashita in goal.
I think, she got a lot of clean sheets.
Yeah, she did. Rated 7.5.
That's good.
Then in defence, you have got Ellie Carpenter.
She was really good.
She was rated 8. Wendy Renard.
Just always class.
7.8. Mappy.
Yeah, she was really quiet.
8.1. And then Batcher, who plays for Lyon. 7.6. So already you've got 3 Lyon players in there, right? And 1 Barca. Then midfield, you've got Kim Little. Well deserved.
She was so good in that tournament.
Well deserved. 7.7. Caldente, 8.3.
Makes sense.
Bonmati, 8.2.
Yeah, she had a good team.
And then front 3, you've got Pina, 9.1.
Top goal scorer.
Demone, 8.4 for Leon. And then Alessia Russo, 8.3. So I'm pretty happy that Yama's made it in there. Not many of our players have made it in there. And what I think is bizarre is obviously Chelsea progressed further than we did, but they've not got a single player in that.
They had a lot of rotation though.
Yeah, I suppose. At least we kind of consistent.
It goes on their average rating as well. So
going back to Kim Little, obviously she's had the tournament of her life, and the Champions League was the only trophy that she'd not won with Arsenal. We thought she was in the original squad that won it, but she's not. She's not as old as we thought she was. Sorry, Kim Little, if you ever see this, for aging you older than we thought you were. But I wonder whether now might be the time she says, I'm off, I'm retiring, I've won everything now, I'm happy, I'd like to retire.
Maybe.
It would be interesting to see.
She didn't look like she was slowing down at all, though.
No, she didn't.
In that Champions League final, like, yeah, the story would be great to retire, but I also think she's been class. Like, she's been so good in that tournament, and especially she didn't really start a lot of the games of the WSL season, I don't think, because we were playing Kyra a lot of the time. Where
Yeah.
now, like, it's literally Kim Little, Caldente, and Frida have been the main three for the last few games, and
Your favourite, Frida.
it's been really good. And I think that Leon game where they changed it and played that free, I think that was the turning point of the season, genuinely.
It was
But yeah,
well worth watching.
three players. I'll take 3 players happily.
And unfortunately, just because Arsenal won the Champions League and now automatically qualify alongside Chelsea because they won the WSL, it doesn't unfortunately mean that Manchester City will end up being able to play the qualifiers.
What a shame.
It is a shame, but there's already 3 clubs from England in there, so it's great. And to be honest, it would be nice to save some money not to go into the Champions League this year. And I genuinely believe what we said last week about how if City invest, City have the time, they will be up there competing with Arsenal and Chelsea next season. And if Arsenal can win the Champions League, who's to say they're not going to win the WSL next year? I hate to say it. It pains me to say it, but I do genuinely see it happening, which will be really good.
Especially with Renée, she is unbelievable.
Yeah.
She's so good.
Now, talking about the fact that Arsenal won the Champions League, a former Arsenal player who was at Manchester City has scared the life out of all of us this week and caused upset as Jill Roord announced that she is leaving Manchester City.
Yeah, that's...
Great.
I think I said it in an earlier podcast that I feel like she might leave because of Viv. Viv coming in, I think, has really got Jill Roord up a bit and made her realise that she's not as instrumental as she once used to be, and especially with the injuries and stuff. And yeah, it is a bit strange, but then when you actually do look into it, obviously she's going to FC20, and I'm pretty sure her dad is like director or something to do with that.
And
so,
she started off there.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, there's not much really else to say. It's a big shock.
I was devastated when I saw it.
Yeah.
It was just weird. Like, the WSL literally ended 2 weeks ago, and only one set of flowers was given out, obviously to Alexandria. So I don't. Maybe she was waiting for it to be finalised. She was making a final decision on whether she wanted to stay or not. Who knows? But it's very strange that it's come at this time. But then I noticed when I was looking at something on our TikTok today, it's also a year since Esme Morgan left. So, and she didn't get flowers either at the end of that season. So it's interesting to see what happens now in terms of if anybody else departs. I really hope not, because we need to get that squad as strong as possible. But I said it in the video I did on TikTok, talking about Jill Roord retiring. She's not retiring. Jill Roord leaving. That you'd obviously said you felt like it would in the past. She didn't like playing with Viv at a club level because it was constantly a competition. And I get that competition is healthy, but when you're getting loads of game time, you then do your ACL or get some form of injury, and somebody else comes in that time, and you lose your minutes. At the end of the day, you want to be a footballer to play football. You don't want to be a footballer to sit on the bench. Hence, like Chloe Kelly, for example, going to Arsenal and now having the season of her life because she's been getting those minutes because somebody's seen that she's worthy. People clip that because it might be the only ever nice thing I say.
Yeah, but players also suit different managers.
Yeah.
She just might not. She might not suit. She suited Gareth Taylor, and she doesn't seem to suit Nick Cushion or whoever else is coming in. So it's probably just a joint decision of like, this is the way that we're going. Is her contract up, or have 20 bought her? Because it doesn't sound. There's a weird thing in women's football where it doesn't feel like players are like when they leave. It's not said why they leave. It's not like, right, contract's up, they haven't been offered another contract, or they don't really say, right, transfer, unless it's like a big transfer. It's kind of just like this player's left, and it's like, you can't just leave.
It is normal for Jill though. Like, she normally does 2 years at a club and then leaves. So for example, 2017 she was at 20, then she went to Bayern. 2019 she was at Bayern until 2021 when she joined Arsenal. She then went to Wolfsburg in 2023, and then she's been with us for 2 years at City, and now she's left. So who knows?
This is what I'm saying. Is it a 2-year contract or what?
I have no idea. But I believe what she had said in one of her interviews was that she was ready to go home now. She's enjoyed playing away from home, but now she wants to be back where her family is. And I get the impression she probably wants to settle, to be honest. She's very happy with her girlfriend. They've kind of hard launched everywhere. And she obviously lives out there. So, and I mean, at 28, you do ideally want to be settling down. You want to be back in where you feel comfortable, and that happens to be back home. So, good luck, Jill. We will miss you. But another really sad departure came today.
Yeah, literally today.
Literally today. Mary Earps is retiring from international football.
With immediate
With
effect.
immediate effect. We're 5 weeks away from starting to train for the Euros. What is going on?
When
The
I first
the
saw
Euros
it,
starts in 5 weeks.
when I first saw it, I thought it was after the Euros.
No.
Like that's what I said to you, because I messaged you saying, "Oh, Mary Earps is retiring," and I was like, "Oh yeah, it'll be after the Euros. That's fine." And then I saw something else that said immediate effect. I was like, "What?"
Her statement made me cry, I can't lie.
It is really sad, but then also it's kind of good because Hannah Hampton's really young, Kiara Keaton's really young. It's good for the development of English goalkeepers.
She said that herself, didn't she? That she feels like it's a new age for England because all the young players are coming in. But one thing, before we discuss it further, one thing I do want to make clear is I don't like this narrative that's all over social media right now of, oh, well, she's been a diva. She's only decided she's not going to be doing it anymore because Hannah Hampton's #1. I don't genuinely think that's the issue. I think Mary was just ready to kind of let things change. And nobody knows. But that's the main consensus that I've seen on social media, and it's taken away from like the amazing things that she's done. Like, she's got 53 caps, she got 26 clean sheets, she's won a Euros, she was a finalist in the World Cup and got the Golden Glove, and then she also won a finalissima. So who knows? It is sad though, and
it is really sad.
I think Serena was very shocked by it as well. I don't know if you've seen Serena's comments on it either, but Serena said that she was kind of shocked that it had come this close to the Euros, and she thought that Mary might be able to stay until after the Euros before she decided to retire, but she's ready to commit to club football, and
Yeah,
I guess it's her time. But do you think Kiara will get more game time now then, like the likes of Kiara, if Hannah gets injured?
she has to.
I know a lot of people are worrying, saying, well, Kiara Keaton and Anna Morehouse haven't actually got any experience at international level, or much experience at international level within the senior squad. And they feel like because Mary's going, if Hannah was to get injured, it puts us in a dire state because we haven't got someone experienced. But I think if that happened, Kiara would be ready to step up to the plate. I genuinely do. She did it at City, and she's good at what she does. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like Mary Earps is retired because, well, she is on the decline anyway. Like she isn't as responsive as she was before. She's not, the reflexes aren't there. Like it happens. Like her distribution was her main thing, I thought. That's started to decline. Her shot stopping started to decline. So I think it makes sense. She's probably looked at it and being like, I don't want to be the reason. Like if the Euros doesn't go England's way, I don't want to be the reason.
Yeah.
So she's probably looked at it as like, I can just go out on a high here and leave, and if they do win it, amazing, that I can pass the torch on to Hannah Hampton. If they don't win it, then it looks at, okay, then it's not my fault at the end of the day, and I do think that's a better way of looking at it, because she is on the decline. Like, you're always going to be like that. That is just the way it is when you get to that point. But I'm excited because I think Hannah Hampton's improved massively. I think her distribution was her weak point, and she's got better at it. Her shot stopping wasn't the best, but she's got better at it.
She's had that chance at Chelsea, though, hasn't she?
And she's shown it. She's got Golden Glove. Like, she's shown exactly what she needs to do to improve, and I think she's done it massively. And yeah, it will be a big fight for that second place because you have got a few keepers that can get in there, and it's just up to Hannah Hampton to be the one that doesn't allow anyone to get there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to it, but the fact that she's announced she's retiring after going to, like, obviously international camp, we play Portugal in 3 days' time. We play Portugal on Friday night in the Nations League, and then we've got Spain straight after on the 3rd. And it would have been nice. Obviously, nobody knows the circumstances behind it, but personally, I would have much rathered her play those 2 games in the Nations League and then go, not with immediate effect.
Yeah, but she'll get her like thing at Wembley if it's at Wembley, the game against Portugal.
Yeah, it is.
She'll get her like her moment.
And then obviously they've got the friendly on the 29th of June, which is just before the Euro. So if she wasn't going to do it with the immediate effect, I think it'd definitely have happened after Tuesday.
I think
anyway,
it's the right decision.
I think it's a shame it is, but she's done wonders for us as a country, and she's got that legacy to carry over now. I mean, she's in Madame Tussauds now. Do you know how mental that is? She is the only female footballer in Madame Tussauds, and it was only this year that it was put in there.
I think as well, when you look at it, in the Euro, she was outstanding.
She was unreal.
And then when you look at the World Cup, she was unbelievable as well. You know, she saved that penalty. She got Golden Glove. Like, she was unbelievable in the World Cup. So she's probably looking at it going, I don't think I can maintain that standard. Like, I've left the WSL. I'm playing less games.
Yeah.
I'm in France. I'm playing.
Well, she didn't even go into the World Sevens.
That's what I mean. So she's probably looking at it going, I'm just going to focus on that now. And England is where it's at. I've taken them as far as I can. The World Cup is I've already won the Euros. A World Cup is probably not going to happen for me. Let's let someone else go and do it. And you've got Hannah Hampton who will be there in the World Cup. You've got Kiara who'll be there in the World Cup. Mary Earps probably wouldn't have been around for the World Cup anyway, so it just makes sense.
Yeah, no, you're right. You are right in what you're saying. And it'll be interesting to see what happens on Friday night. Obviously, for anybody who doesn't know, England are playing at 7:45, and I will be at my hen do. So it will be exciting to see what happens.
I think that Jamaica game, you'll see.
We're there as well.
You'll see who Serena's second choice is.
Do you think?
Yeah, because I don't think Hannah will play that one.
But it's the goodbye game before the Euros. It's the sending off game. So do you think she'd risk playing someone? It would be good. I wouldn't mind
exactly.
seeing
So you won't
Kiara.
risk playing your number one.
I wouldn't mind seeing Kiara.
I think you'll
there.
see. You'll see who number two is then.
Especially because we're going. Anybody else who's going to that game, drop us a message. Come say hi. We are wanting to get more interaction with people. Right. Should we call it quits for this week?
Yeah.
So we will be back on Sunday. Permitting. It's my hen do this weekend, so it's my turn to go and have some fun away from home. But we will definitely do the podcast Sunday. Just expect me to sound like Charlie does now. If you don't already, subscribe, leave us a comment, let us know if there's anything you want to talk about. We are actually planning the end of season awards as well, so we need your guys' help with that.
Yeah, we don't know whether to do it as a live stream or not.
Yeah, do we do it as a live? Do we do it as a podcast? Let us know what you think in the comments. So head over and look at our TikTok. Give us a follow on TikTok. We have got crazy content up there at the minute. It's just very jumpy between the two of us. And yeah, that's it. See you later.